How ironic. How beautifully ironic. When infinity is always infinite in its perception of self, a limitation begins to grow within the unlimited. A boundary starts to form within the boundless. That in order to experience infinity in a deeper way, we knew an experiment was about to be born. To know infinity in embodied sense. What is this biology? What is this experiment? What is this veiling, this constriction of infinity within the mind, which is a limiting device on consciousness? Why dive into density? This commitment, this agreement to the veiling can be almost insane to a being that knows the potential of themselves outside the veil. Many of you may remember the genetic modifications, the experiments, the creation of a vehicle that could house both masculine and feminine, the two energies that were beginning to be known as the core of this experiment. How can we, residers in the infinity of one substance, create an experience of duality? Well, of course, we need something to be in polarization to the other. What is the most core seeming separation in this universe? It's not dark and light. It's not black and white. It's not up and down. It's masculine and feminine. Within the womb of creation, this idea started to weave between our consciousness. This almost hive mind mentality of exploration. And so Adam and Isis began to be born as a concept within the mind, within the womb of creation. Polarization, polarity. We now had depth to perception. We now had space and time. But like all things that go down into the depths of forgetting, they must come up to the light of remembering. And you cannot remember as a female. You cannot remember as a male. You remember as the infinity you are that houses both energies within your vessel. If you lean too far one way, chaos. If you lean too far the other, control. In the middle is poetry, it's beauty, it's a race that houses love and wisdom in equal measures until they are seen to be a sovereign being within themselves. The plan was never to dissolve back into oneness, but to create a realm where someone could incarnate into and slowly, you could say, carefully begin the process of transfiguration out of biology and to step into themselves as a sovereign universal being, dependent on no energy. And this is where free energy comes in. Not the free energy that's being withheld from humanity whilst the balancing of energies begins to unfold, but a free energy body. You could call it a light body, but whatever you want to call it, it's a vehicle that allows you to be dependent on nothing for energy. But really it's a sovereign body of light. It's yours. It does not belong to karma, to genetic imprinting, to DNA of a lineage. It's totally you. It's all your energy, like all things are. This now gives you the potential to transport yourself throughout the whole of creation in a sovereign way. You simultaneously exist within all these different domains and bodies. It's time for you to begin to unbind from biology as being the only vehicle and to meet in a space that can start to go beyond. The only threat to humanity's need to stay within limitation is sovereignty. When more and more beings start to step into their sovereignty, it disrupts the paradigm and the illusory prison of dependency, of a split within each being. This is my highest excitement. It's as many beings coming into their full sovereignty as can be allowed. That is an honor that we have, to descend into worlds and then to bridge the many. You were never supposed to be confined to one, but but to experience the veiling of all of creation with access to all things. You can now bring your humanness with you. You can bring your poetry, your beauty, your depth, your emotion. There was no such thing as emotion before this. What a gift you have to give. There is so much that lies ahead, and yet it's always been within. All exploration is within yourself. And now we have a new angle to return to the space we've never truly left. And that is where I can meet you in a way that feels far more natural, familiar, and true.